Despite what you hear from the media and the left, the president and the Republican Party are winning on the issue of immigration. A majority of Americans support tighter border enforcement, are against, by the way, even increases in legal immigration, and support defunding sanctuary cities. Now, check this out. Even in California, a new UC Berkeley poll finds that 59% of Californians say it is very or somewhat important to increase deportations of illegals. Music to my ears. A full 49% support temporarily banning people from majority Muslim countries from entering the United States. Do you realize that goes even further than President Trump's travel ban from just 6 majority Muslim countries? Did I mention that's California? Determined to fulfill his campaign promises and focus on Americans first, the president urged Congress on Capitol Hill today, as he has since taking office, to tighten restrictions on illegal immigration.
We are calling on Congress to secure our borders, support our border agents, stop sanctuary cities, and shut down policies that release violent criminals back into our communities. We don't want it any longer. We've had it.
The American people have had it. It's about time we end the old, twisted approach of catch and release at the border. Now, for all you common sense voters out there, this get tough approach makes perfect sense. The grassroots, I think the majority of the Republican Party is more unified than ever behind this agenda of the president. So leave it to a small liberal band of Republicans to try to splinter the party just before the midterm elections. This is beautiful. And by the way, over DACA of all things. It turns out that at least 18 Republicans, you see the rogues gallery there, have signed something called a discharge petition. It would essentially give the Democrats and a few liberal Republicans run of the House floor and the ability to bring several immigration bills to a vote, including a bill granting amnesty to the DACA kids. Now, normally a discharge petition is launched by the opposition party. It requires 218 signatures to engage. So in this case, 25 Republicans and all the Democrats would need to be in favor to support it. So CNN is reporting tonight, by the way, that they already have the numbers to do the discharge petition, but the lawmakers could provide no evidence to that fact. Now, the peculiar thing here is that the discharge petition, again, was launched by Republicans as a challenge to GOP leadership and, of course, to the president. Florida Republican Carlos Curbelo and Jeff Denham of California, notorious open borders Republicans, were the prime movers. But the petition has been signed by others as well, including, unbelievably, Utah's Mia Love, Will Hurd of Texas, Mario Diaz-Balart, and Ileana Ross-Lehtinen of Florida, Charlie Dent of Pennsylvania, whose vote still counts, even though he's already resigned, Fred Upton of Michigan, David Reichert of Washington, Colorado's Mike Kaufman, Chris Collins, Elise Stefanik of New York, and Mark Amodei of Nevada. New York's John Katko is also considering signing. These representatives should be ashamed of themselves at this point. I mean, come on. By defying their leadership and the White House, what do? They demoralize the base of the GOP, and they weaken unity before the midterm elections. So rather than keeping a focus on the economy that is booming, these Republicans have decided it's in their political interest to turn the spotlight to immigration and the DACA kids. Who cares if it means handing over party power to the opposition to do it? On Thursday, Speaker Ryan reacted to this discharge petition uprising during a press conference.
Well, we never want to turn the floor over to the minority. And what I don't want to do is have a process that just ends up with a veto. We actually want to solve the DACA problem. Going down a path and having some kind of a spectacle on the floor that just results in a veto doesn't solve a problem. And that is why I think it's important for us to come up with a solution that the president can support.
Well, the president already offered something, and the Democrats said no to it last February. Come on. We all know it's wasting time. It's not up to a minority of Republicans whose views, by the way, did not prevail in the 2016 election cycle to now, at this point, try to reset the national debate on DACA. It's absurd. If they want to do something to actually help America, what they should do is urge some more moderate Democrats to help reform, let's say, the asylum process that is being abused today by illegals. Do you know that asylum applications have increased by 1,700% over an 8-year period alone? I wonder why that's happening. At a moment when the Real Clear Politics average now has the generic ballot tightening from a previous 13-point advantage for Democrats to basically within the margin of error, basically a dead heat now, this is not the moment to distract voters from their number one priority, the economy. To allow this discharge DACA petition to proceed could be a midterm turnout killer, and it will splinter the party. Focus on the things that are working and the things that will win you the majority in November. Keep the majority: jobs, wages, safety, and yes, pocketbook issues. So if you're upset, like I am, about what these liberal Republicans are trying to push, call your congressman, call your congresswoman, tell them how you feel about this. This parliamentary stunt will not go down well with the GOP base. I can tell you that right now. My radio lines were ringing off the hook today. You would think, by the way, that Republicans, just back up for a moment, would learn their lesson at this point after that disastrous 2007, Bush-McCain amnesty. That went down in flames. A lot of us on talk radio were up in arms about that and led the revolt against that. And after the disastrous 2013 Schumer-Rubio Gang of Eight fiasco, that amnesty behemoth was so bad even Rubio himself disowns it now. At least he learned his lesson. Republicans, as the party in power, have a real chance to break the midterm election curse. Not lose many seats, maybe not lose any, maybe even pick up a few seats, but only if the amnesty fanatics are defeated once again. And that's the angle.